Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka and I'm proud of it, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about Kaladesh. Kaladesh is a set from 2016, but it has never been hotter than at this moment. The boxes are going for insane prices, and if you are still looking for some boxes, have a look at Bazaar of Magic in Europe. It is a Dutch site, and there the boxes are still 500 bucks. I won't pay it personally because I think it's stupid. But if you really want the set, and if you think it goes to 2,000 bucks a box, I think 800 bucks is the current sales price. I think then it's a nice price to buy it for 500. Maybe at Bazaar of Magic, nobody woke up yet and they didn't see the price skyrocketing. I didn't check card market, Magic the Gathering card market yet, but in general, of course, we can all agree that the prices went up like crazy over the last couple of days. Is it a really big deal? Is the set on the reserved list now? Is it a spark for old Magic the Gathering sets, like some people say? We'll see. I personally do not think so. I think it's kind of a hype situation. And in general, I think, yeah, it's not justified to pay that amount of money for a box of Kaladesh. Personally, I don't have any influence, and if everybody goes crazy, who am I to talk? But in general, I think paying more than a couple of $100 for a Kaladesh box just is stupid, because the box itself is actually on the reserved list, not the cards. I think Wizards of the Coast stated, if I'm correct, that they won't change anything about the set except for the name. The cards are not banned. That's why the individual card prices do not go up. The cards are not put on the reserved list. The box, more or less, is put on the reserved list because the name Kaladesh can't be used anymore because it's cultural sensitive now. Is it stupid? Yes, it's fucking stupid. The Wizards of the Coast does stupid things. We know that by now. And this is the most recent stupid thing they did. And it's just absurd to kill a name. I think if they would have just announced that name change in the course of the story, which they kind of did, but they didn't emphasize it, then it would have been a good decision. And then everybody would have said, oh, that's cool. We're going to change the name of the plane because the story goes into that direction. But we have to change it because we brought in an outside company, and that outside company says, you are doing bad things, or you did bad things 9 years ago in 2016. 8, 9 years ago, and therefore we have to cancel the set. And that's just ridiculous. I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious about your opinion. I see a lot of talk about Kaladesh, but in general, I am very, very curious what you guys think about it. I personally think it's stupid. Will other cards or boxes or whatever, will that spark the price going up for other sets like this from the same era? Might be. They always might find something that can be banned, that's not cultural appropriate anymore. You have seen the price going up for certain cards like Crusade. You have seen the price going up for certain cards like Earthbind and a few others, of course. Jihad, Invoke the Prejudice, these kind of cards. Are they unavailable? Are they crazy? I think Crusade went up a couple of bucks. I think Earthbind went up a couple of bucks, and I think the others went up a little more in percentage because they were more expensive anyways. Arabian Nights or Legends Rares, they weren't very cheap to begin with, and they weren't easy to find. But it didn't change a lot. And in this case, sealed boxes, yes, will be something very special. If you want a sealed box, if you want a piece of Magic the Gathering history, then probably you should buy one of those boxes now, because I don't think they will get any cheaper. If I see Rudy having like 150 boxes, that's not a lot. And I think he said it as well as I am saying it now. There are not a lot of boxes on the market. If one of the biggest Magic the Gathering stakeholders when it comes to sealed product only has like 150 boxes, then in the rest of the world, I think there won't be a lot sealed anymore. And then it's kind of cool to have. It's kind of cool to have like a lot of the ring sealed collector box as well. I personally think, by the way, that's a different conversation. We need to make a video about that. That the collector boxes of the beginning days are very undervalued. Boxes like whilst no Throne of Eldraine collector boxes. Boxes like Ikoria collector boxes. Even boxes like Theros that were down to like $120, $130 back in the day because they seem to be overprinted. There's not that much out there. Just have a look. One that has been crawling up steadily is the core set 2021, I think, or 2022. I think it was 2021. These kind of book, Kaltheim, also a good one. Doesn't matter. Different story. Kaladesh. Nothing changes for the set except for the box price going up because of the name on the box. If it would have been certain cards, the story would have been different, because then you kind of expand the reserve list, like with Crusade or Earthbind or these kind of cards. They won't be back, never, not even with different artwork. But the box, the cards itself, will be back reprinted in other sets. The box, the name, who cares? If they would have called the set differently now, it would have been the same, more or less, except the price of the old set wouldn't have gone up. What I think is very, very peculiar, and what I'm very curious about, is that it seems that people knew that the set was going to be kind of shunned or put on the reserved list, in the sense of that the name of the set has been like killed. You know what I mean? And therefore some people have been buying some boxes, and the price rise actually went a little stronger than it should have. And then of course Rudy entered the conversation, and we all know what happens when he talks about something. I'm very curious, folks, what do you think about the situation? I personally don't see it right away as a big spark for anything, except for a short-term run on Kaladesh boxes. I might be wrong. We will see. It might cause bigger issues, but I don't think so. Why should it? I mean, nothing changes for the availability of the other boxes. Maybe people wake up and see there are not a lot of boxes. Yes, that can happen, like of that era. And then I like, ooh, before something happens to those, I might want to get a couple. I might want to get a case. That is a possibility, of course, because it puts a spotlight on a certain era, certain time frame of Magic the Gathering releases. But in general, for now, for me personally, not a lot changes. Still think it's crazy how little interest there is in old vintage Magic Gathering, which I think is much rare than a Kaladesh box, and much more iconic than a Kaladesh box. I know that Kaladesh inventions are something very special to a lot of people, and I get that. I just don't see how, like, we pay $1,000 for a Kaladesh box, and for 2 Kaladesh boxes you can get a Mox. Just because of the name Kaladesh on the box? Okay, fair enough. If you want to do it, do it. I won't. I'd rather buy that Mox. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. I talk to you next time. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.